In this video, I'm going to clear out the space that I got back here of all the junk that's in the way, bring in all the lumber that I got for free, and then show you how you can find your garage bar lumber as well for free. Almost, if not all of it, depending on how fancy you want to get. But I do want to be clear. Now, this is not going to be a high-end, top-of-the-line garage bar. There are a lot of videos out there. If you want to follow this channel, especially for the stuff that we do to the bar after we have it built, then go ahead. Give us a subscribe. But this channel specifically is how men who are, or anybody, not just men, I'm just a man, so, but how people who work hard and don't have a ton of spare money can still give themselves a garage bar to spend their time in. Can't do that if it's full of junk. So let's get this cleared out first. You can't see most of it because it's down there, but I got to move it out of the way, and then I'm going to bring all my lumber in so you can see what I got. And I can go over what will and won't work, you know, to build what I drew up, my plans. So I decided that instead of bringing everything inside just to take most of it back out, I'd show you what I got outside. So I got a bunch of these like fence cover things. I got some decent 2x4s, and then my neighbor was cutting down his pergola or back patio cover or whatever, and I got a lot of these really good, really solid 2x6s, very strong, and they're actually going to make up the base, like legs of the bar. And then I got some, what are these? No, 4x6s. These are 4x6s, and then I got these 2x6s and a bunch of 2x4s, and this really long one, which is going to be helpful because I'm going to need two 10-footers for the one I designed. I have some other pieces of wood. I got a couple of 2x4s that I also found, but let's get inside out of this sun, and I can show you how to find your own. So originally, I planned to give you guys a more intricate rundown of my wood, of all the lumber I had, but I decided that I should teach you guys to do it the right way instead of the way I did it. So the way I did it was I collected all of this stuff knowing that I was going to be building a garage bar. But what you should do first is draw your plans out. So there's a lot of ways to make different garage bars, all kinds of different designs. Some of them are fancier than others, but in general, the L shape is kind of a classic because it's easy to build, it's easy to put together, provides a lot of space, and is space efficient, if you ask me. I went through a lot of different design options. I was even thinking of like an angled one, and while that would have been awesome, kind of reduce some of the seating space and all of that, but I ended up just deciding to stick with the classic L shape, right? Can't go wrong with the classics, usually. So this is what I came up with. You know, it probably looks like scribbled jargon, but there are a lot of plans you can find online. But basically, center post with a basic frame, it'll make more sense when I actually come down to building it. But what you should do before you buy all your wood is design your bar. Sketch it up, measure your space, sketch it up on some scratch paper, and decide how you want to do it. That way you know exactly how much you need. Then you can go out and find your wood. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Mostly free wood. Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist. Here in the US, those are kind of like online places you can buy stuff. A lot of times people are throwing away free wood. These are the ones I found just today while planning out this video. Was I looked up, what's available now? But the secret to the stuff that I found was, I don't know about your guys' area, but in mine, we do what's called trash neighborhood cleanup, right? Throughout the whole city, a certain part of the year, the city will promise to take away any trash that you throw outside. Very efficient and also a fantastic place to find free lumber. In fact, I got most of my lumber from a guy that he ran a construction company, and he did concrete, and he was throwing all these pieces of wood away. Yes, they're ugly. Yes, they're covered in concrete pieces. But like I said before, the point of this channel was to give ourselves the sanctuary that we want while spending as little money as possible on it. So finding free wood is going to be your best bet. There's always the classics pallets, right? You can build a bar out of pallets and a bar top. It is doable. Get enough screws and enough pallets, you can absolutely make an L shape. It's not going to be super sturdy, but it's doable. If you're just trying to get this done, you can get pallets. They're kind of a pain in the neck. You got to take them apart, You got to cut the nails off, or the screws, and then put them together. A little bit of annoyance, but they do work. And if you want to make yours with pallets, show us in the Discord, which you can find in the bio below. There's a link for you to join. I want to see, if you're going to make a pallet bar, I want to see it. I want to see your plans. I want to see it come together because I'm rooting for you. I really am. I think that'd be awesome. And it's also very, very cheap. Pallets come in giant piles for free all the time. Not only that, if you want to buy them, I know places around here that will sell them for $3 a pop. I live in Central California, but I'm sure something similar is true for you. If you don't want to use pallets, you can find other pieces of wood. 4x4s, 2x4s, basic lumber is all you need to get this together. The only piece of wood that I would say is probably going to be actually important, that needs to be in good quality, is going to be your bar top. Now, there's a lot of argument on bar tops. Some say that it should be 15 inches off. Some say even more. It's all about comfort of knee length as you sit down, and that is important. But I realize it's not as important when it's just people like us just trying to put together something that we love, but something we can access. You absolutely can put a larger bar top. If you want to do that, there's a lot of different ways. You can join two pieces together. You could put two 2x12s together. Give yourself 24 inches. Excellent option if you want to join the pieces of wood. You could also get plywood or laminated pine or whatever. Kind of works. I prefer solid chunks. And my buddy's bar, the one I mentioned in the first intro video, the one that he built first, he just has a 2x12 on top. And yeah, it doesn't have the listed recommended knee length, but I like it. Plenty of space. You can sit down and rest your arm on it, keep your mugs on it. Works fine. So we're going to go with that. Not only that, you can find 2x12s in almost any hardware store where they sell lumber relatively affordable. In fact, you can get a giant piece in my area for $25. And since we're trying to save as much money as possible, that's not a bad price for a bar top. I'm also going to show you how to stain it and all that, kind of do really cool stuff to it later. So if you're going to want to make it look good, I do recommend possibly getting the bar top brand new. But if you don't really care too much about staining it, you can find used lumber. You can build it out of a bunch of 2x4s put together on the frame correctly and paint it. You can sand it so there's no splinters and all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of ways to do this while saving money. So if you spend some time and gather that wood, you can have enough for your bar. It doesn't have to be a lot. My bar is going to be something crazy, I think like 10 feet long. 120 inches or so, maybe a little bit less when it comes to the framing. But I want to do that because I actually happen to live in a cool neighborhood now, and a lot of people like to go around and enjoy each other's garages and drink and hang out. So I wanted enough space for all my neighbors to come on over and just have a beer. But yours doesn't have to be that big. If you want it 5 feet wide, you can do that. You can find the lumber for it. Use those tricks, ask people around. In fact, you can even go to construction sites and you can ask them. Sometimes they'll have a nice big pile of lumber sitting there, which those guys have to then put into a large dumpster later that gets taken away, which they usually have to pay for, as far as I know, by weight. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So you can go up to them, just get the guts, just go up to them and be like, hey, sorry to bother you, but is that, you guys throwing that away? You mind if I take some of it? Chances are they're going to say yes. You're not going to find full pieces, but if your bar is only roughly going to be 44 inches off the ground, which is the recommended height, you don't need giant, long 10-foot pieces. Small chunks can do it too. So go around, check to see if your city has city cleanup, check Facebook Marketplace, check Craigslist, check OfferUp or any other free, there's a lot of neighborhood free stuff, giveaway apps. Check those out to see if anybody's throwing away wood. Chances are they are, because if you're not going to use it, that crap takes up a lot of space and it's heavy. So hit them up, reach out, be like, hey, can I take it from you? You can even ask your friends and family, hey, does anybody know anybody that has free lumber that is thrown away? And get creative. Get smaller pieces and you can put them together. We're also trying to reduce how much work it's going to take to put this bar top together. So I'm not saying get a bunch of tiny pieces and spend all the time screwing them together. But you can make it work. Hop in the Discord, show us what you got, maybe ask for advice or tips on how you can put that together. And I'll be in there all the time pretty much. and we can talk and design it with you. We can design it together. You can take a picture of your lumber pile and be like, this is what I got. What do you think I can do? Let's chat about it. So go in the bio, find the Discord link, hop on. If you don't have a Discord, it's free. Just sign up, make your username, whatever it is, join the channel, and let's chat. I want to see what you guys are going to come up with. Now, the next video is going to be about actually starting the build for the Rowdy Raven. Why is it called the Rowdy Raven? Nerd reasons. You don't need to worry about it. But that's what the next one's going to be. We're actually going to start putting this together, and it's going to come together pretty quick because the designs I made, very simple. Basically, 2 frames sit together like this with a bar top. Simple as that. Now, if this is the first video you've ever seen in this channel, I do have an intro video right here where I kind of go over what the goal is and why you should subscribe. And also, like the video. You got to say at the end of all of these, right? We need you guys to subscribe and like. It helps the metrics. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one when we actually start putting the Raven together.